Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, 'cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding 'cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble. Have some patience with it. I've been A1 since day one, been always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob. 'Cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills is thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, 'cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith in my pace, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life.
Yes, yes. We in here. Wednesday. Is it Thursdays or Wednesday?
I'm just trying to win this race called life.
I might be so caught up in my research, I'm behind today.
I keep on running in this race called life.
Definitely got a good one for you today.
Yeah, yeah. I won't come to last place in my life.
Yes, yes. Peace and blessings to the family. Y'all know what we came to do today. On a couple people head today. Fauci, we on your head. Obama, we on your head. You feel me? I need everybody right now to go subscribe and share right now. If you're in the chat, go ahead and do that right now. Want to shout out all my shout out the Vibe Tribe, man. Peace and positive vibrations to everybody, man. It's been a good week. I'm feeling amazing today. You know, got some energy. I've been doing my smoothie fast. Got me the new little ninja joint. You feel me? Let me stop saying that. But yeah, man, we about to be going in today on a whole lot, man. It's a whole lot going on. I hope everybody had a good week. You know, I hope this message finds everybody in a good place wherever they at in life. Go ahead and donate to the Cash App, $Astro Vibe Tribe. You know, help keep the lights on around this motherfucker. It is. Now let me go ahead and share my screen, man. We about to dive right in. Time's always of the essence. And we're going to start off with Facebook censorship. Facebook censorship, right? Now, this topic is big right now on all platforms because people are tired of getting blocked. People are tired of getting their accounts restricted for speaking their mind. The big thing is that Facebook, all social media should be like a public utility. What that means is that you can't cut the KKK's phone line because you don't like what they're saying. You can't cut the KKK's internet line because you don't like what they're posting. Social media should be the same way. You can't ban somebody because you don't like what they're talking about. And that's what free speech is all about. Twitter was in an uproar this week when Elon Musk takes to Twitter to explain what free speech means. Let's keep it moving. Elon Musk condemns Twitter censorship of New York Post Hunter laptop story. Obviously, incredibly inappropriate, which I think it definitely was. Anytime you're censoring people, you know, when have the people censoring people ever been the people on the right side of history? We have to ask ourselves these questions, you know. Now, this is from Fox News. We're going to go ahead and get into the article. Social media went wild after new Twitter owner Elon Musk tweeted Tuesday that censorship of the New York Post Hunter Biden story was obviously incredibly inappropriate. Conservatives on the platform rushed to highlight Musk's tweet, claiming that Twitter's actions weren't just inappropriate, but blatant election interference. And that's exactly what happened. When they were suppressing the information that was on Hunter Biden's laptop, the information that the laptop even existed during the election, that's election interference. They did that because they didn't want to make Joe Biden look bad while he was running against Trump. You see what I'm saying? And it's funny because the Democrats were accusing Trump of all of this stuff. And it seems like everything that they accused him of, they were actually the ones doing. And we're going to get into the FBI probe, into the laptop, the subpoenas. We're going to get into all that today. On Tuesday, Breaking Point's co-host Seger Ingenti tweeted about a report on Twitter's legal policy and trust lead, Vijaya Gadi. Excuse me if I'm butchering their names. I'm not even about to really try, you know what I'm saying, on those. But their Twitter's lead policy and trust lead was crying at a meeting about Musk purchasing the social media company. Now, why is this important? Why is this important? This is why this is important. She was the one who was gaslighting America, and she was the one who was deleting people's social medias for posting this information. This information is one of the things that turned out to be true, that they were shadow banning a lot of people because of. So now we have to ask ourselves, what is this about? Is this a government agenda? Are you actually seeking truth? Which one is it? Because if you were seeking truth, you would think you would just go ahead and say free speech, you know, and let us say whatever we want to say. Phone rocking. I'll have to tap back in with them later. Now, another reason this is important, you see Obama up here. We got Obama up here. 7 days ago, he was speaking at Stratford University, the Cyber Policy Center. Ironic. Now, what Obama is pushing for is more censorship. More censorship, more censorship, more censorship. He thinks that the American people are children and can't discern between what's truth and what's fiction. And he thinks that there should be a medium in place to filter what comes through to us. That's funny because all the lies that they told. Let's get into this. I want you to hear what he has to say.
Understand, it's not necessary for people to believe this information in order to weaken democratic institutions. You just have to flood a country's public square with enough lawsuits. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt.
Dirt? Did he just say spread enough dirt? Like the dirt that was on that laptop that they trying to suppress? I digress. We're going to keep it moving.
Conspiracy theorizing.
Right. Like they tried to say the whole Hunter Biden laptop was a conspiracy. They tried to blame it on Russia. And I want you guys to notice a point. Anytime that these guys are lying, they're going to try to throw it on Russia or blame Russia. And you're going to find that that's a consistent theme throughout this whole censorship movement. But we're going to keep it moving. Let's let Obama finish.
That citizens no longer know what to believe.
We don't know what to believe.
Once they lose trust in their leaders, mainstream media, political institutions, in each other.
Wait, is he talking about himself? Once we lose trust in the leaders, political institutions, and organizations? Oh, let me play that back. It sounded like he was talking about himself. I've lost trust in you, Obama.
Conspiracy theorizing. That citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, mainstream media, and political institutions.
Right. Now, let me show you why I've lost trust in Obama. We're going to go ahead and skip down. I'm going to have to go all the way to the end of this podcast. I want to show you why I lost trust in Obama. Now, this article is from April 25th, 2022, just a couple days ago, like 3 or 4 days ago. Pipe replacement court hearings continue 8 years after the Flint water crisis began. What? They don't have clean water yet? I thought everything was fine and dandy in Michigan. Apparently not. Apparently he skipped town and left them with dirty water. 2 presidents later, they're still trying to get the issue fixed. The city of Flint switched its water source. Wait, hold on. Before we go in and I start reading this article, let me go ahead and give you the source. WNEM Channel 5 News Detroit. They printed this article, and you can look this up on Google or Yahoo, any source, any source where you search, you can find this at. The city of Flint switched its water source on April 25th, 2014, from the Detroit water system to the Flint River. A lack of proper corrosion control methods caused lead to leach into the water supply. The city of Flint is still working to improve its drinking water years after the start of the water crisis. The city recently extended. Okay, hold on. So the city of Flint is still working to improve drinking water years after. So the problem isn't fixed. The problem isn't fixed. Obama skipped town, left these people with dirty water, and it's talking about the dirt and raw sewage. Hold on, let's go back to what he said. What did he say to get me on this? He started talking about about how people speaking their mind is raw sewage. And I said, like the raw sewage you left in Flint's water, bruh?
Once they lose trust in their leaders, the mainstream media, and political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth.
In the possibility of truth. They've been lying to y'all about Flint. Y'all go check on y'all people in Detroit, man. Go check on y'all people in Flint, man. The water is still dirty, man. The city recently extended the deadline to finish identifying and replacing the remaining lead water pipes by September. So by this September, hopefully they'll have come to some arrangement and agreement and come together to get these people some clean water. September's a long way away. The deadline extension agreement must be approved by the federal court, right? Claudia Perkins Milton is one of many Flint residents who have endured 8 years of the city's water crisis. I think it's ridiculous. I think us living in a civilized nation and not being a third world country, we have been treated like one. Perkins Milton said. Perkins Milton said, while some things have changed with the vehicle city's ongoing water issues, others have not. I drove past Bethel Church just now, and the water lines are long right this second. People are still in lines trying to get bottled water. People are still in lines trying to get bottled water, she said. So check on your people in Michigan right now, because the water is still dirty. And here's what Obama did. This what made me lose trust in him. When he left their water dirty and pulled this stunt. See, he want people to die. And that's not cool. This isn't cool. He want a glass of water. Yeah, he want a glass of water. He got that fake cough. Oh, he laying it on thick, y'all. Where this man water? Now, I just showed y'all how the water's still dirty, right? 8 years later. But here's what he does to the people of Flint. He gonna take a sip of water and act like everything A-okay. But I gotta watch him hit that one more time. And I got this from ABC News because this is a whole joke. You feel me? Does he even sip the water? I saw him put his lips to the glass. Let's see if he actually drink it. I don't think he drink it. I think he know better. He gonna sit here and a lot of y'all. No. He might have sipped it. That nigga said, I'm not even drinking a Pepsi. Get me on this plane and get me out of Michigan. Get me on this plane and get me out of Michigan. And we have lost trust in our politicians, our government as a whole. You're right, Obama. It sounds like you were talking about yourself right there.
Mainstream media, you're right. That citizens no longer know what to believe.
And it's because of stunts like that he pulls that we no longer know what to believe.
Mainstream media, political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth. The game's won. Without some standards, implications of this technology for our elections, for our legal system, for our democracy, for the rules of evidence.
He's talking about social media right now, and that's the scary thing. He wants more social media censorship. He's talking about, when he says this technology, he means Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. They're under the impression that you guys are like children and that you can't discern the truth from fiction, and that they have to feed it to you like you're children. When we're grown adults, we should be able to hear both sides of the story. They just blocked all of the news from Russia. We can't hear anything that they have to say about anything. How is that fair? How is that democracy? You would think that it's Russia running around censoring people, deciding what they can or can't read, deciding what they can or can't hear, deciding what news is good for them. But it's us. It's not Russia doing that. That's America.
Fortunately, I am convinced that it is possible to preserve the transformative power and promise of the open internet while at least mitigating the worst of its harms.
Mitigating the worst of its harms. So you're going to be the medium to decide what we get to read, what we get to see, and who made you guys the arbiter of truth. That's my question. Because we obviously can't trust you. I just showed you here that Flint's water's still dirty 8 years later. They still are having court hearings trying to get clean pipes. I just showed you that. Then I also showed you Obama sipping this water. Gonna pump fake the whole city like they could drink this. Watch this man. He want people to die. I'm on your head, boy. This is not a stunt, my ass. Yeah, we completely lost trust. Let's keep it moving, man. And this is why censorship is such a big deal to them. This is why censorship is such a big deal to them. Because they want to decide what you can and can't see. They want to control the media. They think you guys are kids. Elon Musk condemns Twitter censorship of New York Post Hunter laptop. Story obviously incredibly inappropriate. Musk replied, suspending the Twitter account of a major news organization for publishing a truthful story was obviously incredibly inappropriate. See, what they don't want you guys getting is the truth. They're not scared that you guys are getting lied to. They don't care about that, and they do that on a regular basis. They're scared that you guys are actually going to find out the truth about what they're doing in real time, and they can't stop it. And they can't have that at the same time. This is throwing a major curve in a lot of stuff they're trying to do. And they're having to make a whole lot of adjustments because a lot of information is at our fingertips now. And it's not making their job easy. And I think pretty soon they're just going to take the whole social media completely, not social media, they're going to take the whole internet down. They're going to fake crash it, fake alien invasion, and take it offline or something. Because this is making their job too hard. They're not going to be able to keep up with censoring all of us and stopping all of the conspiracies that we're exposing in real time. And I'm going to show you several things that they censored that they end up having to turn around. They didn't apologize, but they had to retract their statement saying that it was fake news. And now we're allowed to post certain things that they suspended accounts over that still aren't reactivated. Let's keep it moving. The Tesla CEO was referring to Twitter suspending the New York Post just ahead of the 2020 election for publishing a story about the existence of Hunter Biden's laptop. The laptop contained emails, text messages, photos, financial documents indicating foreign business dealings the first son and the Biden family were involved with. As soon as Musk made the comment, he received a wave of support from conservative free speech advocates online. That's why Elon Musk buying Twitter is so big right now, because it's going to be like a buck to the establishment. They've had their foot on our necks with this censorship under the guise of fact checking for a long time. And Elon Musk hopefully comes and undoes that. Hopefully he's a ray of sunshine or a breath of fresh air at a time when they've been trying to silence us. It's almost Orwellian what they're doing right now. Who remembers reading the book Fahrenheit 54 or 45, whatever it was? Remember they were burning all the books? When have the people censoring knowledge ever been on the right side of history? Ask yourselves. Ask yourselves. And then ask yourselves, why is this so vehemently being championed? You hear people on the news anchors supporting this. You hear journalists supporting this. When that's what's confusing to me. I thought catching politicians doing dirt was what good journalism was. Now you want that censored? How does that make sense? Make it make sense. You don't have the answer, Sway. Let's keep it moving. The laptop contains emails, text messages, photos, and financial documents indicating foreign business dealings the first son and the Biden family were involved with. As soon as Musk made the comment, he received a wave of support from conservatives and free speech advocates online. Washington Times columnist Tim Young replied to Musk, tweeting, "It was blatant election interference." And it was. At the height of the election, we should have known that Joe Biden was involved in the corruption that he was involved in. This investigation, I'm going to show you, had been going on since 2020. So they were privy to this. They all knew about it, and they lied straight to your face. I'm going to show him lying straight to your face and blaming Russia when he knows he's caught. The Federalist editor-in-chief of Fox News contributor Molly Hemingway tweeted that censoring the Hunter Biden story was a horrific attack on our elections. Fox News. And again, here you can see the tweet. I'll come with the receipts for y'all, man. We leave no stone unturned here on this show. And this out of the Western Journal. Now, this is a video off of their website. They actually put their news clip in video form. I think that's pretty cool, so I don't have to read it to you. I still have to read it to you. I took the sound off so that way they don't flag this live, but let's go ahead and check this out. Here goes some more details about this whole Hunter Biden situation. Okay, a subpoena was served to JP Morgan Chase. A subpoena served to JP Morgan Chase Bank reveals the institution was required to produce documents related to Hunter Biden's Chinese business dealings in connection to the ongoing criminal tax fraud investigation of the president's younger son. So this confirms that they got a case on these niggas. While they was trying to suppress us and keep us from posting the story, this is all true. It's another thing that they tried to take down that turned out to be all true. So when is censorship good? The subpoena issued by the Justice Department's federal prosecutor in Delaware. Ooh-wee, I got too ahead of myself. I'm sorry about that. Let's go back. Let's keep it moving. We right here. A subpoena served to J.P. Morgan Chase reveals the institution was required to produce documents. Okay, we already read that one. They got a case on this nigga. The subpoena issued by the Justice Department's federal prosecutor in Delaware requested that representatives of Chase appear in 2019. So this is how long they've been on his heels. They've been on his heels a year before the election. You got to remember, the election was 2020. The document served in May of that year was obtained by Breitbart over the weekend. That's another news organization. The subpoena required Chase to produce all records, documents, and accounts and transactions between 4 individuals and a list of several Chinese banks and financial organizations. And I'm going to show you the subpoena. It required Chase to submit information regarding any potential dealings of Biden with several Chinese banks, and also requested the same of James Biden, a brother of president who had been previously criticized for his extensive Chinese business ties, and 2 Biden business associates. So they digging deep. What's crazy is they not publicizing this like they did the whole, hold on, let me put my camera back on so you can see me. I want you to see me right now, because it's getting real. For all the people who thought this was fake, you feel me? For all the people who thought this was fake, it's not. For all the people who thought this was fake, it's not. They got a real case on bitch. You feel me? They got a real case on bitch. And the whole time they had you focused on that fake Russiagate investigation with Donald Trump. They had real evidence of corruption with Joe Biden. The whole time they got you chasing some Russian hoax. We got real criminal ties to overseas entities right here, and they know about it. Then they suppressed anybody on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok talking about it. You will have your account removed. You be banned and blocked for 30 days. How is that fair? How is that fair? I can see. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. You feel me? I'm not happy about it either. It's a dirty game they playing, y'all. That's why you got to keep your eyes open, keep your head on a swivel, and make sure you read. But don't worry, that's why I'm here. I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to make sure y'all don't miss nothing. This is from the Western Journal. Go ahead, fact check me. I'm about to show you the subpoena. You feel me? Go to the next slide. Oh, we're not done. There's more. It gets deep. It gets deeper than this. Trust me. The document expressly identifies the following businesses. I'm not about to read that to y'all, man. One of the key ones, though, is right here. Wait, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Oh. Select the global. Hold on. Brushimi. The younger Biden revealed that he was under federal investigation December of 2020, waiting until after his father's election to the presidency. See, they lied to y'all, man. They played y'all. And I'm going to show you how Biden lied straight to the American people during the debates and said the CIA and everybody says it's a Russian hoax. And he knew that this was going on the whole time because they subpoenaed him too. Let's keep it moving. The revelation of an ongoing criminal inquiry surrounding Hunter Biden served as tact vindication for outlets that had been reporting on one of Biden's laptops, which revealed, among other things, his involvement in political nepotism and business dealings utilizing his family name. These people corrupt. They everything that they told you Trump was. Okay? I need y'all to understand that. I need y'all to understand that. Let me put my camera back on because it's serious right now. They are everything that they told you Trump was and got y'all fooled. I just showed them lying to you. I just showed you that they were under federal investigation. Hid it from the public. Had y'all chasing Russian pipe dreams. You feel me? And y'all still gonna vote blue no matter who. Y'all still gonna rush the polls and try to put this old rickety crickety dementia having back in office. This type of stuff right here is how we got Donald Trump. I need y'all to understand that. This type of lies and corruption is how we voted for a game show host. People were fed up with the Democrats. People were fed up with being lied to with Hillary. We already knew Hillary was corrupt. Nobody was stupid. The only people who wanted to vote for Hillary were the people who didn't know about Benghazi, didn't know about Gaddafi, didn't know about how she robbed Haiti. We were like, what? We're not about to give her power and give her the reins of control. We already knew what time it was with Hillary, Killary. That's what they was calling her. Bitch got bodies. Bitch got more bodies than a little bit. Trust me. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hunter Biden ended up suicided next week. Because that's something that she does. Let's keep it moving. A letter issued with the subpoena warned Chase that disclosing its existence to any third party would violate federal law. So it told Chase, don't tell nobody about this. So we're going to lock y'all back up. The subpoena reveals that the investigation into Hunter Biden was in full swing well before the 2020 presidential election and the release of the longtime drug addict's infamous laptop, raising questions as to why Biden declined to disclose its existence. Now, they called him a drug addict because he owned the laptop snorting coke and smoking crack with Lady Gaga. Look it up. Think I'm playing. Look it up. They trying to say he a pedophile. Look it up. They got his hard drive floating around online right now. The federal probe into the younger Biden continues despite the troubled lobbyists' claims of its innocence. So he tried to say it wasn't no laptop. Boom, we found a laptop. And I'm going to show you how they discovered this laptop. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the subpoenas. I want you guys to see this. No Department of Justice officials have rescued themselves from the investigation. TheWesternJournal.com. Committed to bringing you real news. And I'm going to go ahead and give them their credits on that one. You know, source up or shut up. Source up or shut up, man. Like one of my elders say. You know, a lot of y'all do a lot of talking, but y'all ain't brought forth no evidence or facts. And that leads us to this. There was a purge of Facebook accounts from major news outlets because they want to control the narrative. This isn't about whether you're getting the truth or lies. I take that back. This isn't about whether the American people are getting lied to. What they don't want is the American people getting the truth. At no point in time do they ever want you to have that. Facebook admits the truth. Fact checks are really just lefty opinions. Now, they got sued in court because they put a fact check thing on a blue checks post talking about climate change. And he wasn't having that. He took these fuckers to court. You know, we ain't got no bread for that. But he took them straight to court. Now, let's get into the article. This is from New York Post. The same New York Post that they removed their article about Hunter Biden's laptop when they posted that. Despite presenting itself to the public as the arbiter of truth and grantor of factuality, accurate information guarding users against fake news and misinformation. Facebook has admitted in court that its fact checks of information frequently aimed at conservatives are nothing more than statements of opinion. The bombshell emerged from Facebook's court battle with John Stossel, who is suing the company for defamation over its decision and fact check labels to the libertarian pundits' videos about climate change. He took their ass to court. Facebook finally admitted the truth. The fact checks that social media use to police what Americans read and watch. And that's exactly what they're doing. Let me pause real quick. That's exactly what they're doing with these fact checks. They're policing what we can see and watch, what we can read and what we can't. They're not scared about us getting lied to. They don't care what we don't know. They don't want us finding out the truth. Let's keep it moving. Thanks to the lawsuit brought by celebrated journalist John Stossel, which has exposed the left's supposed battle against misinformation as a farce, which exactly it is, Stossel posted a pair of videos that touched the third rail of liberal politics, climate change. Never questioned whether climate change is real, but talked about other issues, namely forest management and using technology to adapt. Yet the third party that Facebook contracts to review these pieces, Science Feedback, flagged them as false or our favorite lacking context. They do that to me all the time. Like, I got to explain something to you. I'll make a post saying vitamin D is healthy, and they'll put a fact check on my shit. Like, saying, well, you got to let people know that it's not going to cure from COVID. Like, what? I didn't say nothing about COVID on this. What the heck are y'all talking about? Let's keep it moving, though. Why Science Feedback didn't like Stossel's, it says why. Science Feedback didn't like Stossel's tone. That is, you can't write anything about climate change unless you say that it's the worst disaster in the history of humanity and we must spend trillions to fight it. So that context that they want you to talk about climate change in, and if you're not speaking about it like that, they don't want you talking about it at all. And if you do talk about it, you're going to get a fact check. They're going to take your post down. They're going to say it lacks context. They say it's misleading, unless you say climate change. Okay. And I can see, not that I agree with everything John Stossel posts, but I'm not for him being banned or having his post taken down. I'm smart enough to discern the truth from fiction. I'm smart enough to sit down, do my homework, pull up some sources, look at both sides of the argument, and come to my own conclusion. They want to hold our hand. And then the sheeple are rallying around it. Like, yay, censorship. Yay, censorship. Y'all crazy. For this, Facebook bans or minimizes Stossel's reporting, depriving him of readers and revenue. So that's why he took him to court, because he was popping. Over a million followers. They tried to shadow ban him. Hit him with the algorithm, make sure his posts don't come up in the feed. And that's what Obama was pushing. If you go all the way back up here, in this, he's talking about that.
Fortunately, I am convinced that it is possible to preserve the transformative power and promise of the open internet while at least mitigating the worst of its harms. And I believe that those of you in the tech community, soon to be in the tech community, not just its corporate leaders, but employees at every level, have to be part of the solution.
So he's talking to the cyber community, the people who are about to graduate, trying to get in their heads right now, trying to put a wig on authoritarianism. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to brainwash the youth who are about to go get jobs in the cyber field and tell them, hey, censorship is good. We have to protect democracy. Isn't democracy letting every voice be heard? Since when is democracy censorship? And when we drop bombs in overseas countries, is this a democracy we're trying to spread? A democracy where they don't have a voice? Every person doesn't have a voice? Let's keep it moving.
The way I'm going to evaluate any proposal touching on social media and the internet is whether it strengthens or weakens the prospects for a healthy, inclusive democracy, whether it encourages robust debate and respect for our differences, whether it reinforces rule of law and self-governance, whether it helps us make collective decisions based on the best available information, and whether it recognizes the rights, freedoms, and dignity of all of our citizens.
Which it doesn't. Censorship doesn't.
Changes contribute to that vision, I'm for it. Whatever erodes that vision, I'm against.
They hit us with a little commercial. Then he keeps talking. And see, the reason that he's doing this, they use social media to manufacture consent for wars. They don't want the truth coming out. They don't want you knowing that the Democrats are corrupt. They want you to keep voting blue no matter who. Here's a tweet. They only want you to think the way they do. Doesn't matter. This tweet is from Jason Carter. I apologize. Shout out Jason Carter. He tweeted this under a post about censorship and Fauci, which we're about to get into. They don't, excuse me, this gas getting pretty good to me. They don't care about our freedoms or thought of expression. They only want you to think the way they do. Doesn't matter if it's wrong or factual, as we saw with them suppressing the Hunter Biden and then saying it was Russia, Russia, Russia. You feel me? Remember this? We went from this to this. If this is true, he's a corrupt politician. Turns out to be true. She trying to cut him off.
Said that what this he's accusing me of is a Russian plane. They have said that this is.
He just lied to you. He knew he was under investigation. He had been subpoenaed, and now he's lying to the American public again when he had a chance to be transparent. Not only does he lie, when he lies, he lays it on thick. Lays it on thick. He blames Russia. Tries to make you hate them for the information that's coming out. So he tries to make you hate the truth, despise the truth, uses Russia as a blanket. This guy is a wolf in sheep's clothing. He cannot be trusted ever. It's one thing to just say it's not true. Then you're going to say, man, this is Russia attacking us. This story in itself is a Russian attack on our democracy. They laying it on thick and wonder why the American people have lost faith in them and wonder how a damn game show host like Donald Trump was able to win the election because we tired of you motherfuckers lying to us like this. Go ahead, lie some more. How many? Now, I just showed you that they knew he was under investigation. Let's go to the subpoena. I'm not going to play with y'all. Y'all going to get this work today. Y'all think y'all ain't? Y'all think y'all ain't going to get this work today? Let me show you what was out. Let me show you how he knew. We're not going to play these games. We're not going to play these games. We're not going to play these games. We not gonna play these games. We not gonna play these games. Oh, you know I came with the receipts. You know I came with the receipts. U.S. Department of Justice, United States Attorney, District of Delaware, attaches a subpoena, Deuces Tectum, issued by the federal grand jury requiring the production of certain specified items. Okay. This was issued Tuesday, June 25th, 2019, way before the 2020 election. In addition, subpoena requested. Do not hesitate to whom it may concern. This is to JP Chase Morgan. You see that right here. If you see my mouse moving. Yeah, it's going down. May 2019, well before the 2020 election. Let's go to the next one. Provide electronic copies of the requested documents if that is more convenient. Okay. Okay, here we go. I just want y'all to see this. Subpoena to testify before a grand jury. This is for JP Morgan Chase. These are the receipts. And these are also all on the Western Journal's website. When you go look up that article, you'll be able to download all of these right here. Come on, baby. You can't act like you didn't know when you knew. You can't act like you didn't know when we know you knew. Attachment A. All records, documents, and accounts pertaining to the financial banking transactions with the following known names and or accounts. However, when conducting your search, please do not limit your scope to only the known accounts listed below. Unknown, associated, signatory, or closed accounts are also requested. They digging deep, y'all. They digging deep. But you already know Joe Biden's in office now, so nothing's going to come of this. He actually just started some coalition of truth, and they're about to use that to suppress this. And we're going to go into that on a whole nother episode. I'm going to save that. I'm not going to get too much into what he's doing on that today. We're saving that for a later date because I'm going in, baby. But yeah, right here at the top, you see Robert Hunter Biden, James Biden, under investigation, subpoenaed all their records. So this is the investigation that we should have been watching while they had us looking at dumbass Trump. Trump and the motherfuckers ain't been politicians long enough to have. They don't. How could they have political dirt on them? They haven't been in the political arena long enough. They were novices politically. That's why I wasn't scared of Trump in office. There was only so much he could do. And they had his back to the wall the whole time. He was too busy fighting investigations to ever get any ground, to get his footing right, to get grounded, to make any substantial change. And that's what they wanted, though. You know? Well, let me go ahead and pull this back up. Because we back over here with it. You feel me? Exposing corruption. That's what I do. And if you don't care about this, man, you on the wrong podcast, man. Go ahead and hop out. If you over there like, well, what does it matter? And what's crazy is this guy was right. The whole time Trump was right. Again. Donald Trump was right again. I hate to give it to him. I don't even want to give it to him. But Mans was not lying. Mans was not lying.
Nick Haley was a corrupt politician.
President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of race. We're talking about the issue. President Trump, we're talking about race right now.
She tried to cut him off because he exposed it too much.
President Trump,
And he dumb. He gonna respond.
He said that what this he's accusing me of is a Russian plane. They have said that this is has all the
So he's lying right here.
both parties say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except for his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani. You mean
I gotta play that back.
his good friend Rudy Giuliani?
Ah.
His good friend Rudy Giuliani. That's exactly what this is exactly what this is where he's going. The laptop is Russian.
gentlemen, I want to stay on the issue of race.
You
Okay?
have to be kidding. Here we go again.
So not only did he lie, he laid it on thick and made you think that it was Russia attacking our democracy. So not only did he mislead you, right there, he played with your head too. You know? And we're in an abusive relationship with them. They keep lying to us, misleading us, and we keep running right back to them, kissing their ass every year. We never go anywhere else. We won't even act like we about to holler at another president. You feel me? We won't even act like we about to give another president no play. That's why they keep doing us the way they doing us. We in an abusive relationship with the Democrats. Now I'm talking like Joe Biden. Relationship. We in an abusive relationship with the Democrats. They keep playing us, going upside our head every fucking 4 years, and we let it happen. And if we stop voting for them, they'd have to start listening to our demands. They know we're not going nowhere, so why would they change anything? Let's keep it moving. We went from that to this. Wait, no, I'm not gonna lie. He looked like a Russian. It's just a hat. You know what? I don't know what Russian people look like. I don't think Russian people have a look. Generally, I think they look like, Europeans. You seen, I don't know. It's like, how would you say someone? I don't know. For all I know, he could be a Ukrainian. I couldn't tell him apart from a Ukrainian. I don't know. Let's keep it moving. But that hat is fishy. So pretty much, he turned in the laptop. They pressing him. They on his heels. He going bankrupt now. They intimidating him, blackballing him, making it hard for the boy. But we went from it being a Russia hoax to us actually finding a laptop. You feel me? We went from being censored, even speaking about this laptop that supposedly didn't exist, to it actually existing, and there being vital information on it. Information so important that they've started sending out subpoenas and started a federal investigation into Joe Biden and his family. You've been had once again. You've been had once again. CNBC dismissed Hunter Biden's laptop as Russian disinformation until liberal narrative was deflated. Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo. Dozens of former intel officials say. They playing y'all, man. More than 50 former intelligence officials signed a letter casting doubt on the president. Oh, no, I can't read that from over here. Casting doubt on the provenance of a New York Post story on the former vice president's son. And they actually removed the New York Post story and took their whole page down for a few days because of that. A major news outlet being suppressed. The truth being kept from the American people. They playing y'all like y'all little kids. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Intel officials say Russia likely behind Hunter Biden's smear. I just want you to keep seeing how every time they lie, they blame Russia. This is an ongoing thing. More than 50 former intelligence officials say the Hunter Biden smear campaign is likely a Russian disinformation job. What else do they say? Officials who worked under presidents both parties co-signed a letter stating the arrival of the U.S. political scene of emails purportedly belonging to former Vice President Biden's son. I froze. It's all right. We're gonna let you live today, youngin. I think that video might have got flagged. Yeah, I don't want the audio playing. They're gonna flag my video and take me off YouTube. I let too much of that play. But yeah, keep it moving. I just wanted to show you how every time they lie to you, they're gonna use Russia. And speaking of Russia, man, we're gonna hop right into this Ukraine situation. Another thing that they're suppressing. They're suppressing anybody saying that there are Nazis in Ukraine. If you say that there are Nazis in Ukraine right now, you're likely to have the post taken down and your page flagged. But clearly right here, we can look up Azov Battalion, and Wikipedia tells us in the second sentence. No, I take that back. First sentence, second comma. The Azov Special Operations Detachment, also known as the Azov Regiment of Azov Battalion until September 2014, is a neo-Nazi unit of the National Guard. So the National Guard of Ukraine are neo-Nazis. Imagine the National Guard, the people who are supposed to help us if something hits the fan, pull up, and they Nazis. The government, imagine our government being flooded with, sounds the same thing. So you know what? I see why America gets along with these people so well. And here, right here, you have the Azov Battalion flying the swastika flag, which we know that symbol anciently goes back to black people, melanated people. This is a corrupted rendition of it that they're using. But you see it. You can type in Azov Battalion on Wikipedia. It tells you right there that the National Guard are fucking neo-Nazis. And still, when I say this to people, they say that it's a fucking Russian smear campaign or Kremlin disinformation. Like, are you fucking slow? Are you retarded? Like, you got a smartphone in your hand. How are you this dumb? Let's keep it moving. Ukraine's Nazi problem is real, even if Putin's denazification claim isn't. Putin right now is claiming he's about to go into Ukraine and denazify the country. I like that though. Hey, fuck it. Let the motherfuckers settle their own shit, black folks. Don't get in this. This ain't our beef. It's not our fucking problem. I'll tell you one thing, over there in Russia, they acknowledge black people a lot more than they in Ukraine. Oh, hell no. Ukraine hard on a nigga. You feel me? And when you go to the temples in Russia, they still got the Black Virgin Marys up and all that. And here you see the Azov Battalion with their 2020 flag, a modern corruption of the swastika still, tilted to shape like a Z instead of the cross, but still that you can see the symbolism there. U.S. voted against it because it's okay. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you what it voted against. U.S. and Ukraine, only two countries to vote against UN resolution condemning Nazism. This is 2021. This was posted by Countercurrents Collective. You can go ahead and look this up, countercurrents.org. Now, the U.S. said they voted against it because it would inhibit free speech. Like they give a fuck about free speech. They're censoring us left and right. They didn't want to sign it because they're in bed with neo-Nazis. Let's keep it moving. While Ukraine voted against it because it had pro-Russian bias. I bet. The reality of neo-Nazis in Ukraine is far from Kremlin propaganda, the Hill. I just want to show you guys more, so that way you can bring these sources to your people. When people all in your face telling you bullshit, like that's fake, you don't believe that. The news said that that's Kremlin propaganda. That's the oldest Russian trick in the book. They try to make these Russians seem so smart and the American people seem so stupid. Like this nigga's just the mastermind. He be doing the most. This nigga be doing the most basic shit. Right? Like, oh, him saying they're Nazis is the oldest trick in the book. They're actually the Nazis. They're not the ones censoring their people. America is. Ukraine is. Ukraine took down all Russian news channels. Not very democratic, if you ask me. But hey, let's take their voice, huh? You know, take their voice. What's another thing that they took down that they had to apologize about? Oh yeah, let's get back to that New York Times article. We were talking about how Facebook got sued and had to admit that the fact checks were actually just opinions. Um, and then a lot of stuff perspective is facts change depending on where you're standing. Where you're standing, you're going to view it differently. You know, it may look like a 6 to me and it may look like a 9 to you. But let's keep it moving. Then, when sued, Facebook throws up his hands and says, not our problem. His real beef is with science feedback. You see, we wash our hands of it. They have a third party um, read all of the posts. And again, this lets you know that everything that you post is being screened and people. So if you're out there posting radical stuff, you might want to ease up a little bit because they are going to flag you. They are going to put you on that watch list. They are going to put you on that white supremacy watch list if you're out there posting a bunch of hateful stuff. They are going to put you on that black supremacist watch list if you're out there posting a bunch of woke stuff. I'm probably on there for this podcast alone. But be careful with your speech on social media right now until, you know, until they start observing our First Amendment rights. But let's keep it moving. As for that fact check label we slapped on your piece in Facebook's response to Stossel, it argues, well, that's protected under the First Amendment. It's funny, they use the First Amendment to protect them, but won't protect our First Amendment rights. The Post has faced the same gauntlet too many times. In February 2020, when it says we published, it means New York Post published a column by Stephen W. Mosher asking if COVID-19 leaked from a Wuhan lab. This was labeled false by Facebook's fact checkers. Now, remember on my post about on my K Slay podcast where we went in, the Fauci's lying? We're going to go into that too. This ended up coming from a Wuhan lab. This ended up to be true. But it was that they were censoring. Again, and keep it true from American readers. Who to decide what's fact and fake? And why do we, how come you guys get to filter all of this? Who are y'all? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because every time we post some, of course, those supposed independent scientific review relied on a group of experts who had vested interest in dismissing that theory, including EcoHealth, which had funded the Wuhan lab. So the same people who had took the damn post down is the same people who had put money up to fund this. And you see why we can't get any good news. And you see why when Trump says shit like fake news, CNN and all that shit is fake news, and fuck social media, Facebook, that shit's fake news, that it lands. It lands with his people because of shit like this. When Twitter fact checked and blocked the post stories about Hunter Biden's laptop as hacked materials, what was the basis? Nothing. It wasn't hacked. The company staff just wanted an excuse. Guess they didn't like our tone. In both these cases, our fact checks were lifted, but only after it no longer mattered. So they suppressed the information when it was pertinent. During the election, they suppressed all of the information about the Hunter Biden shit. While people were dying left and right, they suppressed all the information about the Wuhan lab. Hold on, let's get to that, man. Let's hop straight into that bullshit. Lying motherfuckers.
Well, look at it this way. I believe that this virus originated from a lab
It was engineered by the Chinese. We don't have 100% proof of that, but we have, I think the evidence leans 90-10. That just came from the lab. He funded the lab. He tried to obscure the idea that he was giving money to the lab. And then he steadfastly for 2 years said it wasn't gain of function, that they weren't taking viruses that don't exist in nature, creating them, and creating viruses that are so dangerous that they could actually wipe out a portion of humanity. He continues to deny that. If this came from the lab, yes, he's culpable. So when you ask him to investigate it, he's not exactly disinterested. There's a conflict of interest because if it came from the lab, yes, he deserves some more culpability.
This nigga need to be locked up.
Mother Nature deserves most of the blame, but if it also came out of a
It came out of a lab. They got caught. Top NIH officials admitted in a Wednesday letter that U.S. taxpayers funded gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses in Wuhan and revealed that EcoHealth Alliance, the U.S. nonprofit that funneled National Institute of Health's money to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, was not transparent about the work it was doing. This is Yahoo News. Nigga, you caught. And you had Facebook helping you suppress the shit while people was out here dying. And if we would have knew that your ass was funding this shit, Fauci, we would have never let you get on TV and tell us what the man. Come on, man. It gets real scary because then one day he's saying wear masks, one day he's saying don't wear them. One day he's saying that natural immunity works, the next he's saying it doesn't. He's trying to force vaccines on everybody. How do you create the virus, then try to sell us the virus protection? Use a dirty motherfucker. Let's continue. Let's keep it moving before I get upset because this shit crazy. This shit crazy. In the letter to Representative James Comer Lawrence, a tabak of the National Institute of Health cites a limited experiment that was conducted to test if spike proteins from naturally occurring bat coronaviruses circulating in China were capable of binding to the human ACE2 receptor in a mouse model. What? This is what American taxpayers were funding. In a letter to Representative James Comer, Lawrence A. Tabak of the National Institute of Health cites a limited experiment that was conducted to test if spike proteins from naturally occurring bat coronaviruses from China were able to bind and connect to human ACE receptors in a mouse model. They created the virus in the lab, leaked it on the population, and sought to become the rulers of us all in the precipitation of the panic. And the panic they precipitated. This shit crazy, man. How can you trust these motherfuckers? And there's a lot of people that don't know this. I hope y'all catching this podcast, man. Go ahead and drop your donations to Cash App Astro Vibe Tribe right now. You feel me? The revelation vindicates Republican Senator Rand Paul, who got into heated exchanges with National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease Director Anthony Fauci during his May and July testimonials before Congress over the gain of function question. At the second hearing, Paul accused Fauci of misleading Congress by denying that the U.S. had funded gain function projects at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And that nigga was right. They hated it was a Republican. On that ass, boy. We on your head, Fauci. I hope they lock this nigga up, man. Niggas was out here dying. You feel me? And they don't care about our freedom of thought of expression. Like Jason cries in this tweet. They only want you to think the way they do. It doesn't matter if it's wrong factually. You know, we put out some facts, they'll censor it. You know, turns out the shit was true. Why else would Facebook care so little about what's true and what isn't? What's their intent? They don't care if y'all get lied to. They only care when y'all getting truth that they don't want y'all to know about. Sips tea. You feel me? Be sipped by motherfucking tea. Facebook lab leak censors of the Post and America an apology. Once again, Facebook flip-flops on a COVID Facebook flip-flops on COVID posts come more than a year after they banned a well-reasoned post opinion column by China scholar Stephen Mosher that speculated about the lab leak. So after a year, they get their mind right. They say, oops, my bad, that shit that we took your page down for, it turns out it was true. And I don't even know how you go about getting your page back. You probably still can't even get it back. You feel me? Facebook admits the truth. The fact check industry is funded by liberal moguls such as George Soros, government funded nonprofits, and the tech giants themselves. This is from New York Post article about the Facebook lawsuit. The fact check industry is funded by liberal moguls such as George Soros, government funded nonprofits, and the tech giants themselves. The checkers are not the unbiased arbiters of truth. They are useful distractions. They are useful distractions. Groups book use absolve themselves responsibility. Free speech be damned. Okay. They're talking about the third party fact checkers. They're distractions and groups Facebook can use to absolve themselves of the responsibility. They throw their hands up like, hey, it wasn't us. Liability doesn't fall on us. We hired them to do the job. Bitch, stop playing with us and our free speech. And it sucks. We got the internet now so we can catch these niggas. Remember time they would lie to us like this and we didn't have the internet to call them on it? They ain't found a firecracker. And we didn't have the internet back then to go and read posts about this or to have somebody debunk this in real time. We had to take what they said at face value. That's why Obama is pushing for internet censorship so heavy. They're trying to take us back into the dark ages where we can't get truth, where they can do what they want to do behind the curtains, make their moves and leave us out here look stupid, guessing. And we already know now that this war was a war that was about natural resources and oil. We can look back and find that and see that today. But once again, I wish we had social media back then. Because I didn't know any better. I believed them. I'm like, shit, we got to bomb these niggas. I wasn't woke back then. Now I know anytime we go doing anything, it's never to spread democracy. The war on terror is all fake. Because that's an endless war. You can always say there's anybody who opposes us is a terrorist. Anybody who doesn't want to share their oil and natural resources is a terrorist. This war is going to be endless until we control everything. And here's why they can lie to you. The Smith-Mundt Act. Smith-Mundt Act, you can look this up on Wikipedia. The U.S. Information and Educational Exchange Act of 1948 is popularly called the Smith-Mundt Act. The act was first introduced by the Congressman Carl E. Mundt in January 1945 in the 79th Congress. It was subsequently passed by the 80th Congress and signed into law by President Harry S. Truman on January 27, 1948. Now, the act was developed to regulate broadcasting of programs for foreign audiences produced under the guidance by the State Department, and it prohibited domestic dissemination of materials produced by such programs as its provisions. The original act was amended. So pretty much what that just said was this was a disinformation act where they disseminate domestic dissemination, but they were using it abroad. They would spread disinformation to Russia and stuff like that. In 2012, they amended it and allowed this same act to be used on the American people. So this is why they can get on TV and just bold-faced lie to you. You feel me? It's actually written in the law. The original version of the act was amended by Smith Modernization Act of 2012, which allowed the materials produced by the State Department and the Broadcasting Board of Governors to be disseminated within the U.S. So this is what gives them the right to go ahead and lie to your ass on TV. This is what gives them the right to make up fake Russian propaganda and blame it on Russia, even though he knows it's true. This is why you got to turn off your TVs and you got to get your news elsewhere. And this is why channels like this are popping right now. You feel me? And I appreciate y'all, man. We're going to end it on that, man. I got a couple moves to make. You know, I was going to show, let me show you some more shit that they said was fake, but turned out to be true. Remember this? Remember they was taking people's posts down for saying that Obama made the cages, and then it turns out he did. House Dems use Obama-era photos to promote kids in cages hearing. I would be so embarrassed and ashamed of my party if I was a Democrat. They use how they use old pictures to try to shame the Republicans for what they was doing. That's the funny thing. Man, it's a dirty game these boys playing, man. Y'all be careful out there, man. Stay safe, man. Go ahead and donate to $Astro Vibe Tribe on the Cash App. I love you guys. I got to get up out of here, man. I got some money to go get to. Y'all stay safe out there. Stay woke. Keep your third eye open. And keep vibrating high. Love y'all.